you to do something, if we're not careful, we second guess. And when we second guess, we only do a part of what God has called us to do. But I thank God I have learned not to second guess God. No matter how crazy it seems, no matter how people may reject it, no matter how it seems like it's not working, if God said it, you can trust it and step in it. Finally, I learned about people. I learned that everybody that's following you don't believe in you. And when God spoke that to me, I was like, huh? But he said, yes, remember when they were following me, but they only wanted the fish and the loaves. So I had to learn that, because when people disappoint you, if you're not careful, you stop working. And this work is filled with disappointments. But I have learned that whatever God has given you, whoever God has given you to follow you and chosen you, is God's chosen thing. And Elder Curry, that's just a few things. I'm going to let you go on that the Lord have taught me. But really, He's taught me to be Henry H. Peck. You know, from the core. From what He loves you, I still have my thorn. Because your thorn is not going anywhere. But my thorn has taught me to really appreciate the grace of God. Because, you know, the grace of God exists. And most of the time we don't utilize it because we're still trying to be something in ourselves. And there's a part of your life that Christ just has to cover. You're not going to get over it. You're not going to get past it. Christ is just going to have to cover it. And so I thank God that, you know, that part of my life that I will not share, because people will not understand your thorn. So don't go around telling everybody, my thorn is this. Your thorn is personal between you and your God. Amen. So I want you to know that with me, the Lord has given me adequate strength and grace to cover my thorn so that I can continue in His service. And finally, pride. Pride exists when you try to cover yourself to make people feel like you're something that you're really not. For many years, fear that came from that debilitating disease from family, because you know chromosomes give you a lot of who you are. Even after Christ saved you, your chromosomes from your mother and your father and your generation are still kicking. And so part of that came from that. But God spoke to me one day and told me to go in the Bible and write every verse that deals with fear. And I obeyed Him. It took me a long time. I'm like, God, every verse, He said every verse. And not only write the verse, but write a commentary after it. After that, I saw a change in my spirit. And the Lord delivered me from fear.
Thank God.
From fear. So now, when I stand, see, you don't see the fear. You that have fear have to work extra hard. And you overwork. Because you're trying to make yourself to be presentable. But now that the Lord has delivered me from fear, I have a whole new perspective on everything. So the Lord has cleansed me from fear. You know, final thing that I can speak about as far as my flesh is concerned is that I have an over-certain desire to help people to be better. And I used to take it home with me. Go to sleep with it. Wake up with it. Give everything I got away. And finally the Lord has taught me that while this is a spiritual attitude to have, compassion, you got to know when to stop and let somebody else pick it up. So now, you know, even though I'm still as compassionate as I ever was, I do it with caution. And I feel that those are three of the main things that the Lord has done with my flesh. And He's also made me older and wiser and more handsome than I ever been.
So, Pastor, thinking or focusing more on the flock and the church and where we are, where in your insight do you feel that the church is in comparison to the vision that God has given you for the church?
Well, last year, as you know, we focused on transition and manifestation. Transition means change. And I want you to know that if you have participated in the worship services, the fellowship services, the fundraising services, all the great things that we accomplished this year, you've been changed. Amen. You've been changed. I want you to understand that change is very difficult for some of us to see. I think sometimes change is like the Republican Party. They don't know that things are changing. Amen. They're still trying to hold on to the old, but God is changing. Yeah. And sometimes we are very slow to see change. But I, as your flock leader and pastor, I can see the change in you. Heard Ella Pittman praying today. She said, Lord, we see the change. Yes. We see the change. Amen. Change is slow, but it's sure. And then we went into the manifestation because things have to change before you see God move. That's right. Yeah. Sometimes we're waiting for a move, as my sister said, some move of God, but the transition has to come. So this year we have transitioned. And we have seen the manifestation of God, which is His Spirit. I don't know if you know, every time we come together, there's a great move of His Spirit. You can sense His presence. Amen. You got to feel the presence of God. You can't see Him, you got to feel Him. And now we are moving into the phase of what God has told me to call Jehovah Shammah. That means that God is here. He's there. He's wherever you are. He has shown up in our lives. Now we know that. We come through the transition. We come through the manifestation. Now we know that He's here. So it's time to do something. It's time to connect to God. It's time for ministry to grow. It's time for outreach to become more and more a part of us. It's time for us now, Lifeline Christian Center, 2872 North Old Franklin Road, to connect with the entire body of God. Because we have earned our position in that place. So this coming year, Jehovah Shammah. Amen. That means He's going to perfect what you're doing. If you have a ministry, He's going to make it better. If you're a singer, He's going to put you in the record business. If you're a writer, you can write a book. Come on, somebody. This year, we're going to see that God has connected us with the communities, with Africa, with Asia, with the world. Amen. That's where we are. We're on our way. And we can start bigger than that. Because part of the problem with the body of Christ is that we hear it, and that's it. But the definition of hearing is doing. And the only way to do is to accept it. Amen. And you may not see it, but somebody's going to write a book this year. Amen.
Father, we pray all the things that you have in store for us. to open our hearts and ready our minds to receive what you have for us, to walk out the way that you want it to, and to let your power manifest and grow in our lives. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. So a lot of what you preach is to help us, is to holistically and future focused to prepare to better ourselves in our current states. And so a lot of where we are has to deal with recovering from something, whether it's from spiritual dissonance, where it's from financial strain, whether it's from emotional toil or turmoil. And so, why do you feel that recovery is such an important piece to preach to the body of Christ?
But something I discovered down through the years, because we are increasingly gaining knowledge about God. Nobody has it all. No generation has it all. But I have discovered through my own life and through trying to help people, because I really like to see, cocoons blossom into butterflies. That's my joy of working with God's people. But I noticed that some cocoons stay cocoons. They never really blossom into butterflies. So I had a little talk with God, and he said to me that people don't take the time to recover from their old life. Because we were taught, any man being Christ is a new creature. We know that scripture is true. But we also know that after we became new, there were some lingering problems and issues that we were expected to not have. So basically what we do is that we go ahead and pretend that they're gone. And when we pretend that they're gone, we cannot attain to the full work that God wants to do. So what we do, we pray without power. We sing without power. We come to church without power. We do everything without the Spirit. So the Lord told me, take some time and talk to my people about recovering. Because when the love of God hits you, it's overwhelming. Remember, before the love of God hit us, we were lost and undone. And when that love hit us, it was a culture shock. So we got to take some time to recover and let the love of God deal with us. Whereas before, other things dealt with us and had to work with us. So I believe, Elder Kirby, that it's just very important for us to know that God not only exists, but that he will change us and make us into who he wants us to be. But we have to focus on this word. Not just sit and wait. Because when you sit and wait, after a while, you just get sick and tired of waiting. And you just say, he ain't coming and everything is fine. But if God said it, he will do it. And I believe God's people just need to admit that there's some situations in our life that we have not mastered, some things about ourselves that we have not yet come to. There's some sexual issues, there's some other kind of issues that are going on in our lives, and we're afraid to talk about it because the church don't want to talk about recovery. But in Lifeline Christian Center, we're going to be in the hospital. People are bleeding and people need their wounds to be bound up. I believe that this is the message of the church that we have to do. Christ is not coming back until we're ready. So let's get into recovery. Sometimes in recovery, we got to walk a little slow. And, just stop pretending that you're fine. And let the Lord work on us. Amen. We're going to continue recovery throughout the year. Until somebody be jumping and say, I'm whole. Till somebody lay down your crutch and say, I'm healed. Till somebody say, I don't care what you know, I know I'm saved. Oh, thank you, Pastor.
Father, we thank you for our issues. We thank you for the ones of old and the ones that are in the present right now. And Lord, as the year comes to a close and as the year we're getting ready to prepare for, help us to embrace recovery from all the things that have held on to us for so long. Lord, we fully commit to you in your hands our hearts to fully recover. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. So, Pastor Rick, what do you feel have been some of the greatest accomplishments of Lifeline this year? Oh.
Lifeline and you rock. First of all, I would say that administratively, we have done a lot of positive things. When I say administratively, I mean the voice of the Lord, the spirit, the direction of the Lord. One thing that we have accomplished and that we are continuing to work in is to depend on the power of prayer. And I thank God that prayer has been an essential part of our church. I want to thank God for those of you who come together, meet on Saturdays and pray in the church and community. I want to thank our prayer directors that teach about prayer and that have us to come together to pray in groups. And if you have not become a part of that, please make sure you do that. But I thank God for that spirit of prayer that the Lord is actually placing in our hearts. And because it is really, very important. Because if you can pray about something, you don't have to do a lot. We are doing a lot because we have not prayed. And the reason that church work has begun becoming boring for some of us, attendance to church is boring, is because of the lack of prayer. When you pray, God gives you a new perspective. Amen. Also, I want to thank God for the unity. Amen. We have had some incredible fundraising, Lord help us. I mean, Sister Mildred, Sister Barbara, all of them, just call these names. But on one occasion, we came together and we wanted $10,000. I thought, wow. We better pray. And we did, and we did 15,000. That when we come together, we can do anything. Amen. Above and beyond all that we ask or think. Not only that, I thank God that I know that you are proud of Lifeline because you involve your families. And you involved your friends, and they all came together to help us to get that going. And this is who Lifeline is. We got a few members and a whole lot of family and friends. And that's the unity. And I thank you so much for that. I also want to thank God for the new vision that we have had of installing another pastor in this assembly. I can't tell you how important it was for me, for Ella Phyllis to walk in that call of co-pastor. I don't know what I'd do without her. And also placing you, Ella Kirby, into the role of youth minister. Now, a lot of times when God speaks to do something, it seems like we're why. You have to be obedient. After that day, God put a rest in my spirit, that this is what we need to do. And I believe without a shadow of a doubt that not only is it working now, it's going to continue to work and make Lifeline the great church that she is. So when the Lord speaks, I think that we are now beginning to hear his voice. We're now beginning to accept his word. And I think that Lifeline this year excelled in those three areas. Prayer, unity, and administration. And we're on our way. All churches, the churches are changing. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that because first thing you're going to say, Jesus Christ saved us, they there, forever. Yes, he is. Christ doesn't change. But I want you to look around. He changes things. And now years ago, you would not see a praise team standing in a spirit-filled Pentecostal church wearing slacks.
That's right.
Earrings, makeup.
That's right. That's right. Amen. That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
But more importantly than what people look like
Amen.
and the things that people enjoy is the saving of the soul.
Amen.
That is so important. So for that cause, we are faced with a generation. I have pastor friends now that talk to me and say, Henry, I don't know what to do. They want to leave the field. Whether you do research or not, you know that pastors are leaving the field by the thousands. Churches are shutting down, closing down, simply because people don't have a vision about what God is doing. And when you don't have a vision, you try to hold on to what the old stuff was. But the Bible said in the last days, He will pour out on His Spirit on all flesh. And the old men would just start the dream. And the young men would see the vision. See the vision. So I believe that churches have to do several things quickly. Number one, we have to really, really embrace the fact that we need small churches. Because the millennials and people with families, etc., they're looking for a safe place for church. You know, so many people just want the Spirit. The Spirit is wonderful, but the Spirit goes with you everywhere you go. Amen. You don't have to come to church to feel the Spirit. But when you come to church, you need to know that your children are in a safe place, that your children are going to learn about God, you know, that things are kosher, that you, as Elder Peter said, you can feel comfortable in your church environment. And how about I know what it feels like to feel uncomfortable in church? I mean, it's uncomfortable for you to have a dress code, for you to dress the way everybody else wants you to dress. How are you going to feel the Spirit? So we have to embrace those changes. And I applaud Lifeline. I applaud, you know, how you have dealt with the changing of the tradition. I applaud you. I applaud the and not just giving up women because of the changes that are occurring. But we've got to embrace that because people need, just like in education, you need small groups. In church, we're going to need smaller groups, subgroups of our culture. Groups to help people to get off drugs. Groups to help people with family abuse. Groups to help people with their sexuality. All these kinds of things. We're going to have subgroups for it. Because sometimes just preaching the word at people, they don't get it. We need people in a group that says, I was where you were. I embrace you. I love you. So we're going to have to be willing to know that, you know, we're not going outside of God because we embrace other measures of helping people to deal with their situations. How many know the doctors don't heal, but they help? We have to stop being hypocritical. Like, God is all I need. Certainly He is. But in that, He has many more avenues. And the second thing that we're going to have to learn to do is we're going to have to really, really embrace the fact that everybody needs to be filled with the Holy Spirit. That is a teaching that we got away from. You know, that we believe. Did you know that there are people, Elder Kerber, that now there's a book written called The Unsaved Christian? And that scared me. It scares me. Amen. But the Bible says without the Spirit of God, you're none of His. No matter how much we do. So we're going to have to continue to impress upon people that, yes, you have believed, but you also need to be filled with the power of the Holy Spirit. You say, I got it when I believe. Hallelujah. Just so you got it. Doesn't matter to me. But you need that experience of saying, I have been baptized and filled with the Holy Spirit. Paul ran a church, a small church. He said, have you received the power since you believed? So we're going to have to continue to do that and not just in our minds, you know, just believe that everything is okay. If you're not walking in power, then there's something that you're missing in life. And finally, I think that The churches are going to have to be more spirit-led and less performance-based. More performance-based. But you know, when the choir sings, I want them to get happy and shout them down loud. Amen. When we do anything that we do for Christ, amen, it has to be spirit-led, not performance-based. So that means that we need less practice and more spirit. Because you know, when you practice to do something and you mess up, then there goes the spirit. But how about we can come in here and sing to the power of the Lord come down? Not even having rehearsed not one note, but just depending on what we know. And the spirit of the living God to minister. So I believe that these three things, and if you want to know the other 7 things, in the book, January 23rd, 2019. The Lord God from heaven baptized my spirit with such an anointing. And as I began to focus on, the Lord said, all I knew was baptism, because that's what I know that changes you. Baptism is like a death and resurrection. And the Lord said to me, Henry, I transfigured you in front of the people. I remember it, Elder Kirby, like it was just today. It was a 4th Sunday, and I did praise and worship off the chain. I mean, I just love singing with the choir was singing behind me. But I'm getting ready to stop that because I want other people to move up. But I want you to know when I stop singing, because I don't like to do it. I love praise and worship. I love to dance. The reason I dance is because in the world, my friends told me I couldn't dance. And I know that we have we have a mixed congregation in here, but they always told me, excuse this, that you just dancing like a white boy. Mrs. Amy, I love you. But the Lord just put it in me that, you know, when you're happy, you show it. You know, you show it. And, you know, and people, I get criticism on that, but, you know, if I feel the Spirit, you know, it gets in my feet. And I just say, but that day, I remember after Ella Fish brought that beautiful word, and I'll never forget, it says, Satan is in the details, but so is God. And she taught us that day that Satan uses the little insignificant things to make you feel so out of sync with God. And God takes those same things or other small details and connects you with his heart. And by the time prayer was coming around, the Holy Spirit had taken me up into a place that I can never explain with words. It's like I went away. I could see God's people, but all I could do was just kind of just wave at them. But God's people looked so beautiful to me. They looked like new faces to me.
Hallelujah.
And all that day and that night and all that week, I was just called away from God. But after that, Elder Kirby, God changed my perspective of things. I have not slept at night for many years. As a matter of fact, I stayed all night long. That week, I went to sleep. I slept all night. I now sleep in the bed instead of the couch, simply because I am at total peace with myself, with God, with the ministry, with his people, with my enemies. I am totally at peace. The Lord truly transfigured me. But he said to me, I did not transfigure you for yourself. I transfigured you for the ministry, for the people. Now that you see people as beautiful in me, You can't leave them in the wilderness. Some people, it's going to take more time for them to recover. You got to stay there with them. I have been empowered to endure. No matter how long it takes, I'm going to be there. Amen. I've been trusting you. So no, now, if I say I'm praying for you, I'm praying for the long haul. Amen. And you're not going anywhere as far as I'm concerned. You can say you're leaving all you want to. I'm still praying for you. You can go where you want to go. I'm still praying for you. Because I have been transfigured to love God's people.